Hey guys, how you doing today? Today we're going to change the chassis brace on my wife's X-MAXX. I intended on doing a different video on my other truck. Turns out I don't have the parts I need. So the chassis brace part number factory is 7714X. Not sure if you can see that there. I'll also put it on the other camera now so you can take a look at it. Okay, so 7714X. And we just did a video on this truck a couple days ago. When you saw it or if you've seen it, I don't know. We just put a motor on it and noticed that the chassis brace is broken. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that as well. So we're going to jump right into it and let's see what we need. We're going to need a 2.5 millimeter. I'm going to use my MIP. I'm going to start out with the Hypertough and probably switch over to the Dewalt, and I will tell you why. Real quick little review since I've owned it for a little while now. I like it. I don't like that it doesn't lock in the bit like the Dewalt, because the bits fit pretty tight when they're new and when they're good, and sometimes you'll remove it like that and you'll leave your bit behind. Two, it's just not as fast as a Dewalt, which is also a good thing if you're not really seasoned, because you can stop it before you mess around and strip off the screw. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this. There's 8 screws on this. I believe you can see most of them from here. You're going to have one here, 2 here, well, 1 here, then you got another here, so that's 2. Same thing in the front of the truck. You're going to have 2 here. In between, you're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6. So then you have 8 total. So 2, 4, 6, 8 on top. You're also going to have, I believe, 4 on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and start by taking those 4 out and get that out of the way. That way the rest of the video, for the most part, is working on top of the truck, and it's a little easier on me with the cameras. So let's go ahead and flip this sucker over. And it's not clean. It's been run a little bit. I prefer to have them completely clean when I work on them, but I don't have a pressure washer at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and just do it like this and just bear with me. All right, so you got, these are your motor mount screws, and then you've got 4 more holes right here. You got these 2, 3, and 4. Those are going to be your screw holes for the chassis brace. So we're going to go ahead and pull those out. And they're going to be at 2.5. So let me check to be sure. Yep, 2.5. So let's start off with the Hypertough. So you see, it's not, speed demon or anything, but I like it. Okay, that one's out. Now we're going to jump over here to this one. Take this one out right here. And then after this, we're going to go to the Dewalt. Okay, let's jump over to the Dewalt real quick. This one I like because the bit will not come out. So you can tell it's a lot faster. That one is out. And that one is out. And the way this works, if you didn't know, that's left, or that's loosen, tighten. Pretty neat. Usually when you hear that screw pop, like that, y'all hear that? It's all the way out. Alright, now I'm just going to turn the truck over, and if they fall out of my table, that's fine. I'm going to try to keep my hand under there in case they do fall out, they don't end up all over the floor. So let's go ahead here and do that. So that way, put my hand there. 2 fell out. 3. And there's number 4. Okay, so right there you can barely see both ends of the chassis brace, and that's as wide of a shot as I can get right now. So I think that's going to do us just fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull these top screws out. We're going to start back here in the back. And this is definitely faster. It's just kind of awkward because it's so long, and if you're working on the other side of the truck, you're like reaching way across it, but it's a cool little screwdriver. And 2 here, you can see the tire's kind of in the way. A ball head would work really good here, and what would work even better is the 90 degree, but it's got its pros and cons. So we have these 2 out. Now we're going to go ahead and get these 2 out here. Okay, so now we've got a total of, we've got 4 on the bottom, 5, 6, we've got 8 screws out now. Now we're going to take out this one, and then these two in the front right here. You can see how fast that Dewalt gets on down with it, which is pretty neat. And it's variable speed because you can do this and you can slow it down. See there? Pretty neat, man. Pretty neat. All right, now we're going to take out these two in the front right here. Okay, one to go. Yep, that's the right screw. Must be halfway stripped because it didn't back out. It didn't trade out very far. It turned a little ways, maybe 4 or 5 rounds, and then it was done. These need to come out, and there's a couple of screws down there, so let's pull those just real quick. I don't know that they have to come out, the little battery retainer brackets, but I know it makes it a lot easier. I remember that from last time. So the battery retainer screws are these here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same on the other side back here. 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's go ahead and rip those out of there just real fast. Also 2.5. Okay. Spin a little bit. I haven't worked on these for a full season because in the summertime it gets so hot down here where I live, and I just kind of lose interest because something happens. You're standing around outside in the heat, and it just ain't no fun. We don't ever have any breeze down here. Now it's nice and cool outside. We're starting to get pretty frequent cool fronts and stuff like that. So for me, it's time to start playing again. Oh, my Dewalt died on me. Time to go to Old Faithful. Okay, now we are cooking with gas. And these screws are just a little bit shorter, so I'm actually going to set these to the side. 4 of them came right out. There's 4 that are kind of countersunk down in there, and they don't want to come out. So I'm going to do the same thing we did with the other screws. I'm just going to turn it over and let them fall out if I can't get them. There we go. Yeah, that one don't want to come out, so I'll set this one over there. So there's 1 left in there, and we're going to turn it over right now. Alright. And there it went on the floor. We'll find it later. Okay, so now this thing should come right out. So I'm just going to start pulling up on it from back here in the back. And sometimes you have to use a little bit of persuasion to get these battery retainer brackets out. Because, you know, they get dirt and stuff down in there, and they just get stuck. So there, that one came right out. And what I'm doing is just prying, just like this. Prying against this chassis right here. Prying up, and see they just popped right out. There we go. It's coming right out. Now I'm going to reach across here. Hopefully don't block too much of your view. I'm going to pry this one out. It's a lot more awkward when you're on the opposite side. There we go. There we go. Squeak, 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 squeak. There. I'm going to just take and lay this to the side, pull this other one out, and that's actually good enough. I think our brace is ready to come out once we unplug our motor, so we're going to go ahead and unplug it real quick. There. And now, ta-da, should lift right out. So again, part number on this is 7714X. And it's just reverse procedure, just like anything else. So let's see, this one came out like this, so it goes back just like this here. Yep, just like this. So now we just, make sure you guys can see, we try to work from the left side. We're just gonna fish everything back through just like it was. So like that. Now these wires need to go on the back side, just like that. And then when you set it down, just be sure that everything looks like it's going back where it belongs. This has to go inside there like that. You see where that was? This has to go inside here, just like that. That side's back in place. Okay, now we're going to set this side in. Let's see what's stopping it. There, right there like that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead. Something feels a little funky over here. I think it's because these brackets are pulled up. So I'm going to push that one and that one back down into place just like that. Alright, now we're going to put the other battery retainer back in. And it goes in like this here. So front right side is going to look like this. It's going to drop in like that. And then the rear retainer is going to look like this as you're holding it. Look just like this, and it will drop in just like that, and then you work your bracket in place. So we're going to go ahead and get our battery retainer, the actual retainer part, and we're going to lay it back in here just like this. Now that is what it should look like, and you can just, look at your other side. It only goes in one way, so we're going to just set this back in just like that and try to maneuver the chassis brace back into it as well. That's going in there, and that is going in. Now I'm just going to pull back on this brace to allow it to go in there. See there? There, that went in. Pull this back, and boom. And then when your battery retainer is back in correctly, it should work just like it should. Just like that. Try the other side. Yep. Okay, so for now I'm going to just latch them, keep them from flopping out of the way, flopping into the way. And I'm going to just give these a little light tap back into place. That way, in case they're not all the way in, you're not trying to pull them in with the screws and you strip them. So all this is back in the way it should be. We're just going to flip it over, put the, 4 screws back in, turn it back over, put the 8 in, we're done. So I'm going to flip this bad boy over. Had to find a screw I dropped. Alright, so let's go ahead and put in our screws that go down the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and just drop all these back into place. You know, my Dewalt, it lasts a long time. I don't even know where the charger is. I'm just thinking about that right now to myself, like, where is that charger? The same as with everything else, like I've always said, do not over tighten these. Be really careful because they're going into plastic and you don't want to strip them out. I'm going to go back and check these with a regular hand driver. Alright, let's turn this back over real quick here and be sure that before I put these 4 middle ones in, I'm going to put my hand under there so they don't fall out. I'm going to be sure that this chassis brace is where it needs to be. Looks like it's just a little bit out of place. Just be sure that it's lined up with its holes. That looks pretty good. This here, Alright, now we'll put our bottom 4 screws in. And those, these 4 little legs right here, you may have to reach under and just kind of tweak them, just like that, just ever so slightly while you're running your drill, and you'll feel them go right into place. See, that gets annoying that it falls out of there like that. You have to kind of get in the habit of holding onto that bit when you take it out of there. There we go. So those two are good and snug. That one's pretty snug. Feels like we need one more right here. Okay, we're going to double check all of our, I'm going to grab my, okay, so I'm going to grab my hand driver, my Traxxas hand driver here, and just double check that everything is as snug as it needs to be. Feels like that screw hole for the battery retainer is stripped out. That one's tight. Good and tight. Tight, tight, one's tight. Now just the last four for the actual chassis brace. It's always a good idea just to check them by hand. All right. All right, and now everything on the bottom is buttoned up, so we're going to flip her back over. All right, we're going to check our view. Good. All right, so we'll put in all the 8 screws on top. They're all the same length, doesn't matter where they go, doesn't matter what order they go in. So we will start in the front and work our way back. Just be sure that the brace is all the way down. And they should start for you with no problem. Again, be careful on the torque. I would run them in until you feel them tightening up, and then I would finish off with the hand driver. That one got a little tighter than I wanted it to, but it didn't strip. I'll check it. I may actually back it off a hair. There we go. That one's nice and snug. We may have to move it, crack it a little bit. There it is. All right. And now we're going to go back here. There it is. You got to give it a little tweak. Get it going. That one don't feel right. We're going to double check that one here. Let's get this one in. It's tight enough. Now back here. See how bent that screw is? Okay. Last one here. Okay, let's see what's going on with this bad boy here. Now, you know, that one is stripped out. I don't see how I stripped it. I didn't even feel it get tight, but so that's why I say be careful. That one is stripped out. The only other thing that I can really do is put a longer screw in it and get get a really small nut, put it on the bottom, but that's just too much hassle to take back out. So I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know how long this brace is going to last me anyway, the way I bash them. So the last and final thing before hooking up the motor wires is just to go back over by hand and check everything. Be sure everything feels good. You don't want them overly tight. This one is real tight. I'm going to back it off and then do it like that. That one is good. That one feels good. That one feels good. Now let's just go ahead and hook the motor back up real quick. So we'll just plug them back in. White to white, blue to blue, and black to black. And that's it. New chassis brace all installed. Retainers work. And we're good to go, guys. That's it. I thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see what's next. I believe it's going to be a drive cup on my XMAXX over in the corner. Take it easy, guys.